The next topic we're going to talk about is snorkeling like a pro. 10 tips to kick ace and snorkel safely. I was a competitive swimmer, so I really love swimming all four strokes, butterfly being my favorite. And I also was a NOAA scuba diver and NOAA rescue swimmer, although I was lucky enough to not have to save anyone in real life. And I've always, a lifeguard my whole life, so I really love swimming. As a scuba diver, I probably have more experience than I need for snorkeling, and these tips will be based on my love for water, and let's get into it. Tip number one. Buy a mask that really fits your face well and naturally suctions to your skin. This will really ensure that the water is less apt to get inside. And you really don't want a water in your mask or leaking into your mask. It's really just more than a nuisance than anything else. I actually have my mask here for us. I really like the mask. My mask says Freedom Elite. It's a Tusa. I don't really know the brands that well, honestly, but I like my mask a lot. It does suction to my face, and I don't normally get much water in it. Yes, I do need to clean my mask a little bit better right now, but and this is my snorkel. It's always great to have a snorkel and to maintain it on a certain side. I believe the left side is the best side for having your snorkel. Number 2, swim laps at a pool to gain an improved swimming technique and really get comfortable with swimming and improve your endurance and really get in swimming shape. The better at swimming you are, the better you will also be at snorkeling. And so if you want to look like a pro, definitely try to get some practice swimming so then you swim like a pro. Tip number 3, use mask cleaners, baby shampoo, or spit to defog the mask before you jump in and start snorkeling. For my mask, you could probably tell that it's pretty old. I think I've had it since 2016, and I also do not use all of those mask cleaners. Sometimes they can leave a little bit of residue on your mask. Within my training, they tell you that some people have a certain substance in their saliva that will defog the mask, but some other people may not have that substance. So you can try the whole spit method. That's what I use for defogging my mask, but apparently it doesn't work for everyone. So try it if it works for you. Otherwise, mask cleaners or baby shampoo usually does a pretty good job of defogging your mask. That way you can see best underwater and your mask does not get all foggy. Tip number 4, swim using your legs mostly, and then really just relax and enjoy the scenery and everything that you're doing. When you are a professional scuba diver, they teach you first and foremost that you really should not be using your hands that much or your arms that much, because in an emergency you want to be able to utilize your arms in that emergency. And if you're always using your arms to swim, then in that emergency you're not going to be able to use your arms to swim. Instead, you're going to need your arms for handling whatever situation is hitting you. So the reality is you're going to want to practice snorkeling and scuba diving without using your arms or hands for swimming that much. You want most of your swimming to be done with the power of your legs. And so really, if you practice a strong kick, then So if you want to be a professional snorkeler and then maybe go to scuba diving one day, you definitely want to get into the habit of mostly snorkeling with your legs. Now, swimming with your arms as a snorkeler is not so big a deal, so feel free to do so. But definitely in life, it is better to practice just utilizing your speed through your legs and really get some good practice going super fast and snorkeling pretty deep using your fins. Your fins can create a lot of power and a lot of speed, and so really enjoy using mostly your legs and your fins to get to the places that you want to go. Tip number 5, bring a weight belt with 2 or 3 pounds to allow yourself to dive down to the deeper depths and really swim through the arches and the coral and see fishes up close, and really ensure that your weights are not too heavy to allow you to float at the surface. So if your weights are too heavy to allow you to float, you can always unclip your weight belt and let it drop to the seafloor. That is the emergency thing to do, is just drop your belt to the seafloor. It'll be fine. They're just, under $20, so they're pretty cheap to purchase a new one, and you just drop the belt to the seafloor. And then also, if you're at the surface kicking with your fins, you could always take the belt off, remove one of the weights, and then continue swimming. And so they're really adjustable too. If your body has a lot of fat, you will float more easily. And so if you have more fat and you float more easily and you're very buoyant just structurally, then you may want to add that extra 1 or 2 pounds to really allow yourself to get to the depths that you're going for. There's no reason to go more than 3 pounds. Definitely ensure that your weight belt is not too heavy to allow you to float with ease at the surface. And, if you ever have an issue and you're, sinking, definitely release your weight belt and drop your weight belt to the seafloor. If you get tired and, or there's like an emergency, drop your weight belt, and you could always float on your back and really rest and relax. So definitely don't put too much weight on your weight belt, because there's really no need to do so. If you have more buoyant structure for your body, because fat does float more than muscle will help you sink. If you have more buoyant structure to your body, you can always use that 3 pounds, but otherwise there's really no reason to go more than that 2 pounds. Especially if you're new, you might want to just avoid getting a weight belt altogether. Really practice snorkeling first, and then once you get better and more comfortable at swimming and snorkeling, then you can upgrade to getting a weight belt. But even so, especially as a newbie, don't get more than 2 or 3 pounds, because you really don't need it. The reality is you can swim, to the seafloor using the power of your legs. Use your legs, use your fins. Your fins will get you pretty far, pretty fast. Use your kick and kick down to the seafloor. You really don't need a weight belt for snorkeling. So if you want to look like a pro, or if you've been snorkeling for a really long time, you may want to consider getting a weight belt. But if you're new to snorkeling, avoid the weight belt early on and maybe get it later on, when you're most comfortable and you really have a strong kick. Because when you have a strong kick, you can definitely counter some of the weight by just kicking harder. So if you have like your weight belt is kind of like bringing you down, you could always kick a little extra and get to the surface. The weight belt has an effect, but it doesn't have the biggest effect when you consider the fact that your legs are pretty powerful. Use the power of your legs. And so you don't need a weight belt, but if you want one, only use 2 to 3 pounds. Don't use more than that. Tip number 6, do not touch anything. Marine life, coral, and other things in the ocean can kill you or impact you for life. Do not touch things underwater. Especially don't touch things that you don't know what they are. You can touch a stone and literally cause yourself life impacts. Because it's not a stone, it's a fish. So, there's so many things that you can accidentally touch and cause yourself life impact. Deathly impacts and injuries. And so, don't touch anything, especially things that you don't know. And I would swim more cautiously. There are really, really bad instructors out there who will touch things that they shouldn't be touching, and they will set a very bad standard and not lead with very good examples, because I've personally seen someone, a swim instructor of 20 plus years, playing with something that will cause you endless life impact for the rest of your life, permanent impact. And so also don't trust people that are not safety conscious, even if they're an instructor. Vet all the things that people are telling you, because even an instructor can do bad things, like play with things that they should not be playing with, like starfish that could cause you lifelong impacts, and deformation to your limbs. So don't touch anything, and especially things that you don't know anything about. Don't touch the seafloor, don't touch the coral. You never know if you're touching the wrong thing, so just don't touch anything at all. And then, once you get to know all the different things around you, things become a little bit safer and easier. But early on, when you don't know, don't touch. And even when you have your friends or your instructors who are supposed to know, when they're touching things, you still should not touch stuff underwater, because there's just a lot of things out there. The ocean is not that heavily explored. There's so many organisms in the ocean, and they all have different things about them. Some have poison, some have sharp, pointy limbs, and some have really sharp teeth. So it's better to just, not make sudden movements and just swim naturally and calmly. Animals and mammals can really sense, if you're freaking out. So really just stay calm and relaxed and swim and enjoy the ocean. And just don't touch anything, especially things that you don't know. Number 7 is do not splash too much. If you want to look like a pro, splashing is not going to help. So you also might attract unwanted attention from curious marine mammals like sharks. So I would just avoid splashing too much. Just swim calmly, swim confidently, swim relaxed and with strong kick, and just, look like a pro. Don't splash too much. It's not going to make you look like a pro, and it's also not going to be good when it comes to, you might attract, unwanted marine mammals like sharks, or barracuda might get super curious and want to see what's going on over there. And so, just swim around confidently and not do anything too crazy. Number 8, know your hand signals for different marine life and safety related things. So the hand signals, I think it's a really fun thing that you can do. I believe like shark is this, and then turtle. I kind of do it weird, but it's like so basically, if you learn all the signals, you can definitely have a safer snorkeling adventure. And you could also have a funner one, because when somebody spots something really cool, they can tell you by using the signals. So, learn the signals for fun. It's a pretty helpful thing, and you'll really look like a pro if you know these hand signals. Number 9, when reaching the surface, you can tilt your head and blow the water out of the snorkel very efficiently. When your snorkel is horizontal, you can see by physics that the water will come out and escape more easily, versus when you clear your mask of the water while it's vertical. So a lot of people, when they're swimming to the surface with a snorkel mask, they will go to the surface straight up, and then they will blow air out to get the water out of their snorkel. Well, if it's vertical, based on physics, you're going to be having to try really hard to get the water out of your mask. But if it's horizontal, you have less force that is necessary to clear your mask of the water that's inside it. And so the best way to clear your mask, it's actually a pretty good secret that I absolutely love, is as you're swimming up, you bring your head horizontal, blow the air out just as you get to the surface, and then once you're at the surface, you start breathing normal. And so I love that one. That one's a really great one, and it's great for scuba diving as well. And so if you want to look like a pro, work smarter, not harder. Clear your mask as you're approaching the surface by bringing your head and your snorkel horizontal. Clear it and then surface. Number 10, our last tip. If you feel too tired, you could always float like a pro on your back and just relax and enjoy, the sky and the scenery and the beauty of everything. You can always, as I said, float like a pro. You could always be too cool for school and, cover it up as, oh, I'm just relaxing. But anyway, I love floating on my back, and it's super fun, super relaxing, and you can really focus on your breathing and really relax and enjoy. You can really enjoy floating, and it's a great thing to do when you're too tired. If you've been snorkeling for a couple hours and you're tired, or if you've been snorkeling for 10 minutes and you're exhausted, or if your weight belt is getting like a little bit too annoying and you just want to take a break, float on your back. It's a lot of fun, it's enjoyable, and it's relaxing, and you could really focus on your breathing and float on your back. It's a really great thing, regardless of being new or an expert. I love swimming and I love floating on my back. So definitely do that when you're tired. And that is the last tip. So definitely enjoy. Snorkeling is so much fun, and it's a great workout and great exercise. And it's great to really explore the oceans because it is just a completely different world. It's very beautiful, and a lot of people don't get to enjoy the ocean through the mask and through the eyes of, snorkeling. So definitely try it and, enjoy it and have fun. But definitely do it in a safe way. Good luck. Have fun.